Now let's move on to 4 and 5. As you can see here, we get rid of this cutout with the hole, or this pop out with the hole. And then we also add a new cutout on the back behind the two pipes. And we also add a cut to this left pipe right here. So to save time and to save some error messages that I don't want, I'm just going to suppress this feature. And since this cutout is dependent on this feature, that's going to be suppressed as well. But that is fine because we have to redo this cutout anyway, since it has a new shape. So if I don't want these pipes in the way, I can use this section view, which did not work very well. I can click the top plane and drag this up, say about there. Doesn't really matter as long as I don't get the cylinders in my way. So let's make, using offset entities, let's make this new cutout. So carefully click these lines, make sure only the line is highlighted. I'm not going to click this arc because it's easier for me to just drag these lines into place and then use the sketch fillet with the corners than to have to fiddle with that dimension. So the radius for this cutout is of the corners is 9, and I'm not sure if I did. I changed the parameter to oops. Let's check. I'm not sure. Oh, I did. Cool. So that is correct. Now I'm going to go back and cut that out, and just save time. I'm just going to do 20 because I know this isn't changing. And let's do the same thing or a similar thing on the other side. It's harder to use the offset entities because there's no complete thing here. What I can do is just use the offset for the arc. Instead, oops, wrong direction. Just makes my life a little easier. So make sure we reverse that, and then I can just make a rough sketch off of this arc, and I won't have to do too much after this. Just need to make sure I dimension both of these lines. Oops, both of these lines as 9 millimeters away from the edge, and then I can sketch fillet these corners. It's radius of 10 again, and there we go. Let's extrude, no, whoops, wrong button. Let's extrude cut that. Let's just check that's correct. Yep. And now we can turn off cross-sectional view, or section view, because now we need to go back and look at these cylinders. So I need to make this cutout. See right here on this pipe. So what I'm going to do is go to reference geometry, make a new plane, click on this surface, the front face of this cylinder, and I want it to have an offset of 30 degrees, which is where we're going to start our cut. And then I want to flip the offset so it's the right side. So now I can go back to this plane, start a new sketch on it, and we can make this cut. So I'm going to find the center point of whichever circle, doesn't matter, same thing. And I'm just gonna make sure I have a new circle on this plane, and I want this radius to be equal to I think x, right? X. And then I'm gonna make another circle, which is gonna be the point at which we stop our cut. Oops. I'm gonna mention this as where is it? Oh, here it is. It's up here. The distance in between this outer circle and this inner circle we're making right now is 10 millimeters. Let's put that. And if I cut this right now, I would also cut the rib down here, which I do not want to do, because that is not what the view shows me. So, like right there. So I want to go back to this sketch and just make sure I leave the rib intact. So I'm just going to make 2 lines and then trim off, use the trim entities and trim that. Overdefined. Uh-oh. Here, let's delete that. It should stay fully constrained. There we go. So now our sketch, this hole, or this cutout we're trying to do, is only going to include everything but the rib. So now let's go and cut that out. We know that distance of 30. There we go. And there's my cutout. And now just to make this look cleaner, I'm just going to hide the visibility on this plane. Doesn't really matter, but and I need to make sure I update my parameters, which I have not yet. So let me do that real quick. Oops. And one important thing to note here is that y actually changes too. So it's been constant this whole time, but now we're changing it to plus 15 instead of plus 10. So just keep a lookout for things that might not change in the first couple questions, but could change later. So the mass that we're looking for is let's zoom in, see if that helps. Hold on. Okay, we are a bit off. I am going to go back and check my measurements, and the right answer is 13,206.4. I got about 3 grams off. It's in the tolerance, but let me go check on my work. Okay, I found my mistake. I wasn't paying attention, so I can always learn, but the radius on this chamfer actually changed from 45 degrees to 30 degrees. So let's change that right now to 30 degrees. And hopefully that gives us the right mass. So we are about 0.04 grams off from the exact answer. I'm going to call that good, since that is pretty close. Let's move on to question 5. We're just changing the parameters. They're global variables, so it should be pretty easy. Quickly do that. Okay, and now that it has updated, let's go back, and we got 14,207.97. That is 0.03 grams off from the final answer. I'm going to call that good. There might be something a little bit off with my model. You could probably find it, but that is the end of this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and good luck on the professional test.